Good evening, Mix 96.1. We did a little more playing around with the headsets and the mixer here, so hopefully my level is going to be better. Yep. So yes, Lucas, if you're listening, we are going to be delayed for a few minutes, about 15 minutes or so. They've got to replace a pane of glass and back one of the nets. So just hang tight. Let me know if you've got me in queue already. Just give me a thumbs up on that if you would, please. Thanks. Again, hopefully my levels are going to be a lot more palatable tonight. I know it's been an ongoing issue. So they're talking about a 15-minute delay or thereabouts. A cracked panel or a cracked pane of glass. You can see the cracking from up here. They're on it now. Got it, thanks.
About 15 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, it came apart as soon as...
Thank God he's here. That other kid wouldn't have known what to do.
Just got your comment, Lucas. I'm glad to hear that. And I've been able to hear myself fine, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Get a jackknife out. just heard him say there's going to be regular protocol. Okay? As soon as he gets the glass on, he'll give it a thumbs up, and then they're going to start doing things. Okay? So it may not be 15 minutes. So, which makes sense. Like that one doesn't fit. Yeah.
Was that maybe one of the side panels?
Never had this problem when we had chain link.
True.
Look at him setting it up, he's got to cut it. Look at this. I can't believe it. They have to cut it. Here we go. You might remember this, I don't know. When I had the Fame Owners Invitational hockey tournament, I don't know, you might be gone by then, but we started we were up in our profile, we were playing Merrimack and UConn and all those teams. We had the original boards that were in here for the design of the building. The boards were never meant to be played a real physical quality of play, okay? Plus they wore down. This would have been probably in the early 80s. So the boards were put in like in 73, right? Wednesday night before the tournament, we're having practice. the board, the whole back end of the board fell down. I got a friggin' tournament with nationally contending teams coming in 2 days. They put the boards back up and braced them with 2x4s.
Whatever it takes.
And then somebody got checked into the penalty box. The penalty box door broke. You know, I've seen it all in this place, I'll tell you.
You can't make it up.
Yeah.
Alright, we are back into countdown mode. 8 minutes. right, stand by. Stand by for 30 seconds. Here we go, 30-second countdown starting now. 20 seconds to billboard. 10 seconds to billboard. 3, 2, 1, and roll it, please. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Hockey Night in Potsdam. Tonight, the Potsdam Bears hosting the Cortland Red Dragons in Suniac League play. Warren Potter and the coach, John Horn. Coach, we saw a nice effort all around from these young Bears last night, coming up on the short side of a 2-1 final against the Oswego State Great Lakers. But a real solid effort in a lot of areas.
Yes, indeed. And I'll tell you, they played very solid on the back end, got tremendous goaltending last night, had goal-scoring opportunities. They weren't able to finish. That seems to be what the kind of the concern is going into the year, is will they have the ability to finish? But, you know, a hard-fought 2-1 loss here last night, but these Red Dragons are coming in with a hard-fought loss of their own up in Plattsburgh, getting beat 6-5 in overtime. As you said last night, they had a 2-goal lead, I think, at 2 separate occasions in that game. Plattsburgh would score the tying goal with about 25 seconds to go in the game and then win it in overtime. So, you know, two teams that have played heavy and physical games. Let's see what the legs are like tonight.
Connor Green back in goal for the Bears. Luca Durante at the other end, and we are underway with the first foray into an offensive zone from the Cortland Red Dragons as they work the right wing corner. Crookshank dropping down low to pin his player along the boards. Puck still in back of Green in the Potsdam net. He was outstanding last night in the 1-goal loss. Just underway here tonight at the Maxi Arena. Already seeing Potsdam right there on that breakout, a little bit shorter passing game, enabling them to get cleanly into the Cortland zone. Gatos down there digging for the puck. Bears poke it out of there. They'll play it off the half wall down into the right wing corner, looking for a centering pass. That's blocked right away. Horn trying to track it down for Potsdam. He overskates it. The Red Dragons are away with it, and Nick Grupp. Grupp moves it out to center ice for Cortland. It'll go long. Grattan back first on it for Potsdam. Tipped out to center ice. Bears chip it right back in for Rob Clare. Clare almost rode his man into the boards, but lost a stick in the process. Cortland coming through center ice. Drop pass. Weak shot deflected from right inside the blue line, and that's going to be sat down upon by Connor Green.
Well, the puck came loose and a very quick whistle there. Referee lost sight of the puck, but the puck remained in play. And as a matter of fact, Cortland ended up with the puck in the corner, kind of looking around as to what really happened there. But nonetheless, that's a good break for the Bears as the faceoff comes back outside into the neutral zone.
Right down in front of us, Horn will win it for the Bears. There's cross ice pass. Rose will track it down off the boards. Cross ice for Claire, cut off. Here comes an opportunity developing here for Trevor Veniclaus. Or Veniclaus. There we go, Veniclaus. Want to get the names correct as early as I can in this game, so as not to be battling the whole game through.
We have some ones of concern tonight.
Now Potsdam with Tommy Terranova, center point, deflected into the left wing corner. He'll look down there for it, along with a couple of teammates. And it's going to be played by the Red Dragons up the center ice. They're looking to complete a change here. They do now. It's turned over. Bears back in with the first shot on the Cortland net, and that's going to be a stop for Durante.
Really nice play in the neutral zone. Nice gap control, if you will, by Ethan Clark, who stayed man up on his position and really had the nice gap. As I said, he was able to poke check it at right about the center ice and was able to go in and get a good shot on goal. But nice defensive play by Ethan Clark.
Alex Storjohan, remember his name from last season? Or 2 seasons ago, actually. Not last season, there was one. Wasn't a season. After another stop by Durante, his puck is out to center ice. Battle for it right underneath us here in front of the penalty boxes. Cross ice it will go, and the Bears will just sweep it back into the Cortland zone. Territorial edge, a slight one here for Potsdam in the early going. No score as we near the 3-minute mark of period number 1. Out to center for Leith. Leith will poke it ahead and it flies through the air. Almost could have reached out and grabbed that one.
Yeah.
But I opted not to. Leith will settle in back of his own goal. Both teams finishing off some changes here. Nikiforov off the bench for Potsdam, sends it ahead. Bears are onside. Screen shot, whistled wide and high. All the way out to center ice. Ice off the backboard carom. As that one rung around the glass, including the fresh pane of glass in back of that Cortland net, which accounted for us getting going a few minutes late here tonight. Centering pass mid-slot. Dragons cut it off. Here comes Ciori. And the shot on from the right circle. That's a nice stop from Green. Tracked that one pretty well. Bears will take over in back of their own goal. Failed to clear. And so Storjohan overskates the puck down low. Had his stick tied up by Crookshank. Ciori heading for the net, looking for a pass. Storjohan trying to get the puck for him, but it's going to be Potsdam coming out with it. Bifolchi plays it off the backboards, and that comes to the side of the net. We saw that at least a couple of times last night, too. Bears keep it in the blue line. No, they did not. I thought they did.
Big Josh Bifolchi is in the lineup tonight. He is the sophomore from Ottawa, Ontario, 6'5", 225, seeing his first game in the Bears uniform here tonight. So we'll be looking for big things from him. Another freshman made a nice start last night. That was Noah Dallo. We're looking to see how he can control that left side of the ice for his game.
Cortland off the faceoff lane to the Potsdam zone. Jan as it tipped out of play at the Potsdam bench.
Yeah, you were talking about the glass going down here. We had about a 15-minute delay, as you know. Broken glass had to be changed. Rotted out, was too big, had to bring it back in, had to cut it down to size, but finally they got it done and the game was underway.
Claire through center ice, weaves his way through, shot from the left circle, rebound, a juicy one, but unable to pull the trigger down low for Potsdam. I can't pick up his number right now, but it was a good opportunity. Here's another one coming as the puck will come in to Durante in the goal. He'll cover up.
I like that thought process by Corson Green, who got the puck, had to leg really hard to get back at it, understood the game and the positioning, and then rimmed it all the way around to his player, who got it all the way back into the right around the blue line. Didn't think about going D to D, just rimmed it around, and that was a nice clear.
Terranova loses the face-off to Cortland, but the Bears sweeping across keep the puck in the zone down in the corner behind the Cortland net. And an opportunity developing here, but it's going to be played up the half wall. And big battles going on along the boards already. Bears away with it. Cross ice pass to some space. T1 up looking for the tip out in front. And that just missed. That shot was on the money for Noah Dallo. Just couldn't tuck it home. Another shot from the side. This one will go in back of the net. Ring around for Cortland. 1-on-3 through center ice. And they'll just get the dump in. Green out of his net. Good thing he hustled back in because Cortland will play the turnover. Back to the right point. Wrist shot. Deflected out in front. Probably off his own man. And the Bears and Ben Thompson will find it with some room right up the middle of ice. Now shading toward his right as he'll dump it in. Bears will finish up a change. Here comes Knowlton in for Cortland. Knowlton tries to pass it ahead for himself in the left corner. MacArthur is down there, digging for it. It's poked free. Clark trying to be first to it for the Bears. He takes out the Cortland player who was actually there first. Now Clark pinning his man along the boards again, and it's freed up for MacArthur. This is Garrett, the freshman. Dumps it down ice. This should go for an icing, and will with 13:48 to play in a scoreless first.
Had a little more time than he thought. Could have possibly made a play. Got a little bit too much wood on that. Went all the way down the ice. That's going to be an icing call as we have 13:48 to go here in this first period. No score as of yet. Connor Green had to make a couple of good saves. I'm not sure I've seen Durante down at the other end being as challenged as of yet.
Most of the shots on Durante or in his direction have come from pretty well outside or at a tough angle. It'll be a face-off win for the Bears. Eventually, here is Garrett MacArthur. MacArthur hits the Cortland blue line, drops it off for Leith. His shot right on, kick save. Right back to from whence it came, and then it will bank out for Ethan Clark. Clark, D to D. 4 by Fulci, drops it off for Leith. And now back over for Clark. He'll send it in with a lot of zip on it. Around to the right half wall as Tom Terranova goes down into the corner looking for it. Back up the wall, back into the corner. Dallo over skates. Potsdam player taking out his man. That was a straight-on hit from Thompson. Mercy. Or maybe that Terranova, actually.
Yeah.
Tommy Terranova going after the puck. He's hungry here tonight. He's a goal scorer. Looking for his first. Bears just coming up with a 1 last night in the 2-1 loss. Grattan can't get a hold of the puck. Backhander, weak one wide of the net for Cortland. Back out to center ice. Ludwig goes down. Play continues on as Rob Clare screens a shot in on goal. Cortland will turn a long rebound back the other way. 2-on-3 as they enter the Potsdam zone. Looking for a centering pass. They've got one. They look for a follow-up cross to the weak side of the net that never connected. Bears dodge a bullet there as Clare will play it in. Nick that Horn will play it in for Potsdam. Back out to center ice. No, Bears keep it in. At the left point, left circle. Off balance shot. The right-handed shot from the left circle is knocked away. High slot, and it's Cortland out with it. And the Bears will dump it right back in. And that's going to go for an icing.
That's a good icing call right there by Drew Rose. He was being contested in the center of the ice and chose to really just move that thing back and reset for the face-off inside our own zone. Cortland will get a change there. Change in the defensive pairings. We have Corson Green playing with Drew Rose. Both of those young men played a very solid game last night. It's good to see them paired up here tonight.
As Potsdam moves it out for Jack Bloom. Bloom down the left side. Some space, puts it right on goal, and it will be handed off by the netminder, Durante. To center ice for Corson Green. Plays it back into the Cortland end of the ice. Bears get some new personnel out there. Cortland a couple of their own. Dragons easily in with Homitz on the left side. And back the net, stolen away by Leith. Leith circling, will bank it off the boards for Clark. Clark near side. Bears on the breakout. Nice cross-ice pass, hand up. The shot deflected. Up and over off the back glass. Bears will play it out of the corner. And now into the corner. Half wall now near the right point. Clark pokes it down low. Played off the wall again. Shot. Missing wide left. Bears looking to continue a cycle here. As Cortland will come away with it. That's Ethan Homitz once again, skating well, and they just miss a tap out in front of the Potsdam net again. Bears need to do a little bit more, or have a little bit more respect for the speed of these Cortland forwards. There's a puck that's lofted into the chest of Durante. That befuddled him a little bit, but he was able to keep it in front of him. Kind of like a catcher in baseball with a wild pitch, or a high fastball. Cortland unable to clear, Bears keep it in. Right side, Thompson drops it down into the corner, heads for the net, gets it back. Thompson shot, rebounded off a deflection. Bears keep it, calling for it is Grattan, and it's going to be banked out to center ice. Bears will have to reset after a pretty nice possession right there. More than halfway through this quick-moving period number one, still no score as the whistle sounds. 9:35 on the clock.
All but for that little faux pas in front of the net here about 2 minutes ago. The Bears have been very solid, very thoughtful in their puck movement here so far tonight. That was good sustained pressure off of the forecheck, some good heads-up passing as they possessed the puck and were able to get a decent opportunity on goal.
Another face-off win for Potsdam. Corson Green flex it off his own man. Here's a turnaround drive on net. That's knocked away. And Terranova can't hold it in off the boards. Bears will reset again with Corson Green skating in hard from center off to the right wing in behind the Cortland net. Thompson down there for Potsdam. Terranova turnaround. Can't get the nice finish on that little spin move there. Bears will hold it in for a moment before the Red Dragons bring it out with Ciori into the zone. Ciori, shot block, a little pass block. Shot toward net, well wide off the right post. Ludwig down there for Potsdam in the corner. Plays it along for the D pairing here of Rose and Green. 6 and 7 are their unis, and it's out to center ice, where Grupp will gather it in for Cortland, dump it right back in as the Dragons make a full change here. Bears will send it down on a deflection. They'll change up themselves. 8.5 to play in a scoreless first period here in Potsdam tonight. Both teams skating well here in the early going. Potsdam's been able to string together some nice short passes in their attack. Bloom has it hop over him in behind the net, and the Dragons will play it up for Jan, left wing side to center ice for Hildreth. Hildreth entangled with Leith. Puck loose down into the corner. Leith looking to pin it in there with Horn. Hildreth trying to dig it out. He will for a moment. And then a nice check right there by Clark to free up the puck for Potsdam, but they can't clear. Shot from the point, deflected off a boot, wide of the right post. It was going wide anyway. Here comes Horn in for Potsdam. In behind the net, who's going to the middle? Nobody, because the puck is turned back over to the Cortland Red Dragons. Motoring up the middle of the ice now is Satimo. His shot is on and sticked aside by Connor Green to the corner. Big battle, 4 more players. I think every one of each of the 4 corners coach has seen at least one scrum, probably a couple already. Here's a shot from the point by Anderson. Somehow Green saw that and got a piece of it. Here's another stop by Green on a blast from the right point. Green certainly dialed in here in the early going. Under 7 minutes to play, period number 1.
Well, he is, and his positioning has been just outstanding. He's on his skates, he's out in front of the blue ice, and really focused in. He's tracking the puck very, very well and controlling the rebound. So, so far a good start for Green.
Bifolchi had a chance out there for Potsdam. Now Rose will leave it for Thompson. Back in the Potsdam zone. Already down to under 6.5 to play in this first period. Cruikshank in behind the Potsdam goal. Out it will come, but not controlled by the Bears through center ice. So the Dragons will knock it back in. Left corner for Veneklaus. Now Dallo. Dallo, nice pass ahead for Bifolchi. Check that, Nikiforov. And back to through center ice and into the Potsdam zone it will come. Nikiforov trying to stick handle his way through center ice. Gets stripped of the puck. The Red Dragons facing some forechecking pressure here from Clark until the Bears decide to make a change as Cortland brings it back up ice. Floated in off the backboards. The puck will die off right back there. Ludwig battles right corner as we look down upon things here, and Ludwig comes away with it. Dallo on the move with some space through center ice. Tries to hit the lead man breaking in. That doesn't connect. Bears will have to clear the zone. And Cortland is back in with Beaulieu. Beaulieu overskates the puck, and the Bears get it right back up to center ice. Corson Green has to retreat into his own end under some pressure. 5 minutes to go, period number 1, room down the left side. Here comes a move for the Potsdam Bears with Bifolchi. Bifolchi catches up to the man with the puck, gives him a bit of a check. Not a full one though, and the Red Dragons will clear with 4:40 to go here in period number 1. No goals, no penalties, not very many stoppages
I
at
was
all.
going to say no goals, no penalties, no whistles, and 4:30 to go here, and the pace of the play has been very solid all night long, and really a good good feeling out. It seems like it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game right now. Both teams not taking a lot of chances, which you'd expect on this second night. They want to make sure that they're in this game for a long time. Both teams needing a win desperately.
Claire with Bernays, off to Rose, his shot right on goal, and that'll be squeezed by Durante.
Nice save out in front of the blue ice there, held that shot. Both teams needing a change, especially Cortland. I think the Bears just got one on the fly. So the faceoff is going to be to the right of Durante. Horn on the faceoff.
And it's going to be a do-over.
Somebody's getting a warning.
We saw a penalty, a related penalty, a new penalty in the league this year. One of those assessed to Oswego last night.
Face-off violation.
That's what it was. Puck in Potsdam's right wing corner as they look toward the Cortland net. And cleared back out to center. Bloom loses an edge. Rose. And now a nice cutoff there by Grattan. Grattan and the Bears will just dump it in. Grattan will stay on the ice for a moment here. A partial change for Potsdam. And now Grattan's going to have to track this one down, but not really because it's an icing against Cortland.
Icing call now. Going to bring that back down inside the Cortland zone. 3:25 to go here. Again, both teams, kind of close checking, I would say. They're really staying on top of each other. Not a lot of plays coming off the rush, shots being kept to the outside, saves being made. So it's probably going to be one of those games here where the face-offs and where the forecheck is going to have to turn over, and that'll get your scoring opportunities.
Rister from the left point made it right on goal for Potsdam. And the Cortland Red Dragons play it back into the Potsdam zone. That was Ryan Leaf taking that wrister. Bears with numbers coming out of their own end. Across through center ice. MacArthur can't track it down. Lost sight of that puck. And now a chance for Knowlton. Partial break.
What a save.
Save!
Oh, my. There he is again. And making that save, a bad turnover inside the neutral zone. A clear breakaway coming in almost 2-on-0. And Connor Green just held his position and got that big glove out there to make the save. Outstanding save.
2:55 to go. Face off to his right. We're in period number 1 with no score here in Potsdam. Last night the Bears scored their only goal in the first period. Here's a shot from center point, just wide, and they tuck home the rebound. Cortland 1, Potsdam no score.
You're not going to be able to stop them all, and that's one of those, I'm not going to call it a play, but it can be a play. That's going to be number 28 for the Red Dragons getting in their goal. That's going to be Cam Knowlton, I believe. Shot came from the point. It was a redirect. It went right off the back and came right out in front. No chance for Connor Green on that.
And I'm thinking that's going to be the first goal for that player because they retrieved the puck.
Cam Knowlton, they're showing a sophomore here, but he could have been in school last year and not played any games. So that could be an academic year sophomore, but maybe a athletic year freshman.
So 17:31, I think, thereabouts the time of the goal. Or 17:21, actually. Here comes Potsdam looking for the recovery, and they score! Jack Bloom!
Who else but Jack Bloom is going to get it? He's got the Bears have scored 2 goals in the season, and he's got them both. Knows his way around the goal. Terrific pass. I didn't see who made it, but that sent him away, and he came right down a little bit to his left and just buried it. He's a shot off the stride. Durante really didn't have much of an opportunity on it, but Jack Bloom, he's a goal scorer, and he can find the back of the net.
That was a snipe after a burst down the ice. And just like that, we're knotted at 1.
Nice answer.
Indeed, a nice quick answer. Cortland into the Potsdam zone. Bloom will get it, coming out for the Potsdam Bears. Up ahead for Horn. Horn spun around, help off the boards, feathered toward net. That's going to be cut off en route, and now Starjohan one-on-one. Starjohan can't get the pass away. He's going to drop it back to the point. Left point for Anderson. Rister toward goal. That's deflected before it could reach. And now here comes Clare, flying out of there. Now waits for help from MacArthur. Clare will go off on a change. Garrett MacArthur, big number 91. Overskating the puck.
One of the scouting reports I got today was that Cortland likes to formulate their offense off of transition. You could see that as they're going to turn that puck over. If they get control of it, they're going to get it going in a hurry.
Durante knocks down a rising shot on him. Back out to center ice with 1:15 to play in the first. All knotted up at 1. Those 2 goals coming within 30 seconds or so. Another chance for the Bears. Potsdam player down and behind the net. Play continues on without a call. Here's an opportunity here. Knocked down on the way. Back to Cruikshank, center point. Cruikshank sends it right circle. Wide open, the shot through a crowd, knocked down. And played off out of the corner there for Cortland. Shot down on Green. That's how quickly they can transition down ice, these Red Dragons. I have a feeling of their 5 goals last night, probably 3 of them were in transition anyway.
Well, you call it transition, call it a counterattack. No matter which way you want to shape it, you're going to have to be aware of what your defensive responsibility should there be a turnover. It'll be interesting. We'll talk about it a little bit between periods, but I believe they had 4 power play goals last night too, so that's something to be aware of as well.
Also, at our first intermission, we'll check the in and out of town scoreboard. Lots of action involving local college and high school teams. Of note, final half minute of play here in the first. Grubb winds, and they score off the rebound. It's going to be Knowlton. With 21 seconds left.
Grubb gets the shot from the point. Is that Knowlton who's going to get his second one in about a minute and a half?
Yep.
Well, they're not picking that puck up for him. So again, that was a rebound. The initial save was made by Connor Green. Couldn't corral it, and the Bears couldn't occupy the players in front of the net. And the rebound was there for Knowlton. He's a big body out there, and he comes in. Oh, not so. Let me see. I'm looking at him here. Yes, he's 6'4", and he's going to be hard to corral. He'll probably stake his position right off the corner most nights.
Well, you're right in that the Bears really do need to to body up on those forwards as they're getting close to the net. Anticipate a floater into a Gold Glove down into the corner by Durante with 6 seconds to go. Puck out of play.
Face off in the Red Dragons' end there. Goals late in the period. Momentum changers, if you will. Negative for the Bears and positive for Cortland as they're going to take a 2-1 lead going into the first break here.
Face-off win for the Bears into the corner, but we're down to no time left as the puck is tied up in that corner. So, a flurry of goals coming late here in the first period. Cortland got on board first. The Bears responded quickly before Cortland gets the go-ahead goal again with just 21 seconds to go. 2-1 after one.
Yeah, and an entertaining period. I thought both teams matched up pretty well. A couple of faux pas by the Bears inside their own end, but they early on they were able to avoid it. That second goal, the shot came from the point, and there's just you got to occupy the big body there in front.
So 2-1 for the Cortland Red Dragons after one period of play. While we're waiting on some first period stats, let's take a look at some scores from elsewhere around the Suniac tonight in Plattsburgh. Always interesting for us to follow our travel partner.
Here we go. We have the stats to report here, and it was at 17-16 of the first period. It would be Cameron Knowlton who would pick up his first goal of the year. Ficini would pick up his third assist, and that was at 17-16. But 20 seconds later at 17-36, it would be Jack Blom who would get his second goal of the season. Rob Clare and Drew Rose would pick up assists. Both of those young men have 2 assists on the season. Cam Knowlton would get his second goal of the night from Nick Grupp and Ethan Holmans. The shot came from the point, and the big body Cameron Knowlton right off the right-hand post. He just couldn't be. The Bears didn't have his stick, so he was able to put the rebound in. Probably the one time that Connor Green did not control that rebound. Shots on goal in the first period have the Bears out shooting the Dragons 14-12. Penalties in the first period are none.
That's easy.
So pretty much that's the tail of the tape as far as the statistics in the first period. But we'll talk a little bit about it now and then when we came back. The statistics last night is that Plattsburgh took 8 penalties and Cortland scored on 4 of them. So one of the things, obviously you want to be concerned about that, stay out of the box if you can. But the other thing that you notice here tonight is that they're very adept at that transition play. They turn over the puck, they're thinking offense, and they're going right out after you.
Oh, and they are. They're not coming into the zone and looking to set it up. They're just going right toward net with it. And so far, that's been a recipe for some early game success. Yeah. Over in Plattsburgh right now, the Cardinals have a 2-0 lead on Oswego after one period of play. Earlier today, in other college sports, an exciting football game over at St. Lawrence University. The Saints would fall to nationally ranked RPI 22-20 in double overtime. The Saints men's soccer team advancing to the Liberty League Championship, winning their semifinal game over Ripeye by the score of 2-0, and the Clarkson women's volleyball team takes the Liberty League Championship as they sweep St. Lawrence 3-0. Women's college hockey on the D1 level with the Bears off today but playing on the road tomorrow. Clarkson over Harvard 4-3, and Dartmouth dropped St. Lawrence by the final of 6-2. Some high school playoff action as well, and a bit of an upset in high school football. The game of the day and the game of the season by many accounts. It was number 2 Ogdensburg beating Gouverneur in Gouverneur by 20 points. 32-12 was the final in that one. The Maple Hill Wildcats knock out the Matter-Waddington boys in the Class C regional final 2-0 in a game played out at St. Lawrence Central. Shazy and boys play has a slim 1-0 win over the Lisbon Golden Knights. They're back into the Final Four for the umpteenth time in umpteen years. The Chateauguay girls are off to the Final Four. They upset Lisbon in the Section 10 championship, and now here's the Chateauguay girls. They knock off Willsboro out of Section 7 1-0 today. New Hartford drops Messina in girls play 5-0. It was also, let's see here, we had a couple other, I guess that's it for finals right now, but yeah, well, a lot going on. So congratulations to those who won, and congratulations to those who competed at such a high level. When you get into the state tournament, you're a pretty good team.
Yeah. And, like I said here, we're fortunate to be able to watch two very competitive teams here tonight. And the Red Dragons and the Bears both looking for their first league win of the year. Cortland Red Dragons have a non-league victory over Lebanon Valley. So they've got another game up on the Bears. You got to remember, the Bears, because of some COVID-related issues, got off to a very late start. And really, for the most part, did not practice very much. They might have had a full team practice on Thursday. That was really the only thing that they had going into this weekend. So it's going to be very interesting as this game progresses to see what kind of physical conditioning they are going to be able to hold on to. And, in a 2-1 game, closely contested, it's going to be something the coaching staff is going to really have to manage their bench going forward.
We saw some hints, some obvious signs of fatigue from the Bears as the game went on last night, and totally expected and anticipated. But one thing we can rely on here tonight is that this Cortland Dragons team, they were certainly working awfully hard. Their game, having to match goals and fend off the Plattsburgh Cardinals last night, and game that goes to overtime, and Plattsburgh's only lead is the final score at 6-5. So, they spent a lot of energy across the North Country last night themselves.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. The other thing that is probably in the Bears' favor is that as they had a 2-goal lead last night, I'm talking about Cortland now, twice in Plattsburgh, but had to give it up on twice and ultimately end up losing, is that you're never out of it. Keep on plugging away, because they must have holes in their defense that would allow good solid pressure to allow teams to get back into the play. So, we'll see what happens. You don't know what happened there. I do think that penalties were a factor in the game, not only with Cortland scoring 4 power play goals. Plattsburgh got 2 of their own. So I'm not sure exactly when they came, but penalties were a factor last night in the outcome of that game.
Not a factor at all in this one so far. Penalty-free first period. The goals all coming late. And after 1 period of play, the Cortland Red Dragons with the 1-goal lead, 2-1 over the Potsdam Bears. We're going to break here in the first intermission, send her back to the Mix 96.1 studios for a few minutes. When we come back, it'll be time for the second period with the Bears down a goal to Cortland. The score at 2-1. Come on back in a few minutes here on Mix 96.1.
She thinks it's because of...
All right, Lucas, I'm cutting the mixer power off for now. I'll talk to you in about 4 or 5 minutes. Thanks. crank up a little more. Any better?
I can hear
For
you
me?
now. Yep.
Okay, good.
Test.
All right, Lucas, 20 seconds to billboard, please. Ten seconds to billboard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll it, please. And back here at the Maxi Arena, Warren Potter and Coach John Horn as we head toward the second period with Cortland a go-ahead goal, their second lead of the night, coming with just 21 seconds to play in the period, 2-1 as we head toward period 2.
Yes, it was, and just a quick recap, the Dragons got on the board at 17-16 with Cam Knowlton getting his first goal of his collegiate career, we believe, with Ficini picking up the assist, but Jack Bloom would come right back 20 seconds later at 17:36 with Rob Clare and Drew Rose picking up the assist, but then Cam Knowlton would end up getting his second goal of his career and second goal of the night with Nick Druck taking the shot from the point, and Homich, who will get his third assist of the year as well, contributing on the secondary assist. Bears outshot the Dragons in the first period, 14-12, but are still on the short end of the stick by a 2-1 margin.
Over in Plattsburgh, the Oswego Lakers early second period trail at Plattsburgh by the score of 2-0. Oswego, of course, with the 2-1 victory here on Bears opening night. So, yeah, really, this game, even though it's the second league game of the season, it takes on a fair amount of meeting, doesn't it?
Well, it sure does. I mean, you don't want to get too far into the hole here, if you will. You know, you saw what Oswego looked like with 2 losses on their resume last night. So the Bears, they need to come back, get a good answer here. That could be a call, but it's not. No arm up on that call. But Bears want to get a win here at home.
All right, so back it comes to the Potsdam zone for Clark. Yeah, Potsdam player clearly hauled down with the stick, but no whistle there, so play continues along here. Just underway, period number 2. Here's Vernace, center ice, passes left side for Alpieri. Alpieri, screenshot, right on, kick save. Big, juicy rebound off the right side toward the corner. The Dragons will play it from behind the net. Bears will try to hold at the point, but they can't do so. Potsdam better hustle back because here comes Cortland in cross-ice pass. That may have been deflected. I think he was probably looking a little closer to net with that one. Back come the Bears. 1-on-3. Player being held off. Here's Horn. Right circle. Drops it off and trying to wrap around try, which I really thought might have been his better option. It's broken up and sent down into the Potsdam end of the ice. Bears back to center. Tapped ahead for Horn. Horn with some space. Left circle.
Off the pipe.
Rang it off the crossbar. And back out to center come the Red Dragons. 2-on-3 through center as they hit the Potsdam blue. And off a stick way up and out of play.
Boy, Brett Horn coming down the left-hand side here. Good head of steam. Good quick release off the stride. Went right off the crossbar. Just a little bit, right up that triangle, right up where the crossbar meets the goalpost. There was a little bit of space there. He saw it, but it went right off the crossbar and out.
As Horn was trying to go top shelf on the 5'10" Luca Durante. In goal here tonight for Cortland. Dragons Romano sends one off a stick, and now here come the Bears out. 2-on-2. Right circle shot. That one gets lifted out of play by Dallo.
Going to pull the trigger just a little bit quicker on that. He's going to get used to the pace of the play, recognize the back pressure coming on his inside there. He's got to get that shot away and maybe even to the off pad because there was a Bears player coming down the left-hand side. Could have been there for a rebound.
Face off to the left of Durante. Puck tied along the boards. On the half wall, out with the Bears. A chance right on goal. Glove save off the stick of Ludwig.
Nice.
I said it last night. I'll say it again. He's a crafty little player.
Boy, he sure is. And he got the puck, fought his way, didn't have to fight his way, but he fought it figuratively, fought his way into open ice and got a good quick release.
Face off again to Durante's left. MacArthur will win it for the Bears. Back out to the right point. Corson Green, under a little bit of mounting pressure, will poke it down in behind the goal, but Cortland comes away with it. Stretch pass for Donegan all the way through to the Potsdam net. That's where Connor Green, will cover up.
Yeah, nice thought there. Again, the goaltender being the quarterback back there, he can see the play coming, how it's going to develop, either on how this team is going to break out. Good judgment there. Hold on to it for the face-off. Let's start over.
Face off to Green's right. Puck dropped right on goal for a Potsdam face-off win. Didn't feel like one initially there, but Potsdam with MacArthur sends it ahead on a nice short pass. Headed toward goal, the shot, and they can't get a tip out in front. It got through to the netminder Durante's stick first. Played out to center for Ficini, and assist on one of the goals. The go-ahead goal late in the first period. He brings it in, takes a hit, and comes off the ice for Anderson. So Timo out there looking to get involved in the play, but Potsdam has it on the breakout. MacArthur in the rising shot. MacArthur trying to play the rebound, can't tuck it home. As standing his ground is Durante, and a little extracurriculars after the whistle.
Good save. He held on to it there. I know that they were looking behind it, and he might have even taken a peek himself. But again, underneath him, and there was no problem for Durante there as he was able to hold on to the puck. 17:01 to go here in the second period. Cortland Red Dragons lead it by 1.
2-1 your score. Face off to Durante's left. Another win for the Potsdam Bears. Corson Green draws the defense out a little bit and banks it down into the right corner. MacArthur battling for it with Tom Terranova. Quick shot, whistle wide of the left post. Shot taken by Justin Bernays. Now actually that was Dallo out there, number 18. Dallo wins it back. Now Ludwig down the left side. Ludwig waits and now turns it down into the corner, and behind the net it will go. Bounding back toward the open left corner. And here comes Beaulieu. Beaulieu hounded a little bit as he enters the zone. Gives up the puck on a nice back check there by Cruikshank. Although I think, let's see, we have a penalty coming up.
No.
Or do we not? No, maybe just a late offside. Maybe that's what that was. Now we
There's
have a
one.
penalty. I had to say
Clairvoyant,
it right. Yeah.
there you are.
Something like that.
I'm not sure what that call was. He knocked him down. We're gonna get a look. Cruikshank's gonna go off. They're gonna call it a trip.
Fair enough. First power play of the game to the Red Dragons.
4 power play goals last night. We're gonna have to see how our PK can match up against them.
Face-off win for the Red Dragons. They will set up on the left side toward goal, and a shot and a score. That was well set up. The Bears not moving it up on the PK, and they get stung early on in the man advantage.
Boy, that didn't take very long for them to get their 5th power play goal of the weekend. Just a couple of seconds on the quick pass. Strojohan would end up getting that beneficiary of a good cross-ice pass. He one-timed it in there for the third goal of the night, their first power play goal, and they take a 2-goal advantage here with 15:56 to go in the second period.
I'll credit the Dragons with drawing Potsdam's attention to that left side. That opened up an awful lot of space for Stoyahan. So Potsdam's first 2-goal deficit of the young season. Let's see how they respond. Cortland 3, Potsdam 1. Potsdam held to just 1 goal last night. And here with 15 and a half to play in the second, 1 goal tonight. Red Dragons regroup in their own end. Left side goes the play. Leith will pick it off at his own blue line and push it right back in for the Potsdam Bears. MacArthur takes out his man. Maybe lucky not to get an elbowing called there. MacArthur after it again, getting a little loosey-goosey with the stick. MacArthur gets it again. Centering pass out front, nobody home. Played out at the point, knocked down in front. Dragons with a chance to clear, but they cannot do so. By Fulte will pin his man, open up some space here for the Bears. MacArthur having a kind of a tough time. That's Mike controlling the play. Now his brother Garrett will get over there, get him the puck. Cruikshank plays a deflection, but it's back out to center ice. Bears 4-on-2 coming right back in from center. Open, high slot. A rising shot way too high up and over the net. And Dragons will clear to center. Bears clear the zone as Horn will play it in off a deflection. Right back out it comes for Hildreth. He overskates. Bears have it. Wide open hockey right now. Here comes Potsdam. Right circle shot, and that one misses high and wide. They got a good look there once again. Here's Garrett MacArthur using his big body. Down in the left corner, centering pass for Thompson. No room right there. Circles in the circle, screens it in on goal. Kick save for Durante. Bears down by 2, looking to get one back right there, but Jan's going down the other way. Waiting. Still loose, puts it on goal. The rebound, they cannot cash it in. Boy, Bears really catching a break right there as they left that puck wide open mid-slot. Dragons still with it in back of the Potsdam goal. Cortland 3, Potsdam 1. Almost 7 minutes gone, period number 2. Dragons, a rising rip way over the Potsdam goal off of that new sheet of glass. Now Rose will play it up the boards and out. Down it will go for an icing. I don't know why.
Seems he could have played it. It went very close to him. Like they're, another scouting report that they had was that they play kind of a controlled chaos kind of a game. They're kind of quick at what they do. They've got good sticks, and they just try to get you running around. And the Bears are guilty of running around at times inside their own end, and Cortland is going to take advantage of that.
It's a Cortland face-off win. Quickly pushed into the corner for Jonah Hildreth. Out to the left point, held in there. Now Hildreth again. Deep cross-ice pass. Gaius. Kick save. Big rebound off the weak side, but Bears are going to manage to stick that one aside. A follow-up shot. Easier save here from Connor Green. Bears finally worked the puck out, but Ciori first on it for Cortland at center ice. Now Horn squeezed off of the puck. He'll come off on a change. And now a break down the left side. Teed up, and a nice save by Green. Facing that one head on.
Another bad change by the Bears there allowed that. They've got to be more mindful. They had a couple of questionable changes last night, and that was another one right there.
Poked away, turned over to Ludwig. Ludwig flying in left circle. Can't get the shot away before the puck knocked off of his stick. Now Clark follows up with a blast from inside the point. That's knocked away into the corner by Durante. Another floater toward goal. He'll pick it up on the short hop with the left-handed glove.
Before I forget here, on that power play that they had where they ultimately ended up scoring, I don't believe Potsdam had gotten into their face-off position. If you recall, if you can click back in your memory, the Potsdam player did not go over and man up on the board side, and the puck went directly to him, and then seconds after that, that's when that pass came across the seam. The Bears got to be a little bit more careful on that center getting into the face-off situation until the whole team is ready to go.
Out of the Potsdam zone come the Bears. A pass up to MacArthur. Garrett. No, that was actually Mike MacArthur at center ice. It's away from him. Bears will poke it in with Ryan Lee. Potsdam looking for a turnover here, but the Red Dragons will manage to reach the red line before dumping it in. And now the whistle for what?
Looks like it's going to be an offsides, I believe, or an icing call. It looks like icing call going back
Thought
all
for
the way
sure
down.
he had cleared the red.
Yep.
So it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Bears with 11:09 to go, period 2. Only goal of the period to the Red Dragons, a power play marker, and they lead it 3-1. Now a couple of the absolute toughest opponents here to be facing in your first 2 games of the season. Bears holding up okay, but they're giving up some pretty good breaks to these speedy Red Dragons down the left wing. Held in at the left point here by Anderson. Flying across to keep the play alive for Cortland. Romano waiting out at the right point. He will get the puck. Rister on net. And a glove save for Connor Green.
Saw that all the way. The closest player to a screen was over along the boards there. Romano just wanting to get it on ice there. Again, he had a lot more time than he thought. He could have waited for a little bit of a screen, but he chose to shoot it, and Green held it on for the faceoff.
Face-off win for Cortland. They'll poke it out of the zone. Knocked right back in onto the late offside as Anderson takes a nice hit over there. From Bifolchi, a little lead pass off the mark. Back out to center. Bears will chip it in with Alfieri. D to D is the response for Cortland, stretching it up to Jan, who will deflect it into the zone. Bears will play it off the wall, but not out, as a cross-ice pass goes dangerously close to the crease. Corralled by Jan in the Cortland left corner. Cortland getting a cycle here going now with Hildreth pinned to the boards for a moment by his man. Takes another shove there. Bears with Bifolchi. Short pass for Vernace, never got to him. Cortland quicker to the puck right now with Romano. Here's a shot from the point, and they score again. A tip right out in front, right at ice level.
That's going to be Hildreth, Jonah Hildreth, that'll come off with that goal. Shot came from pretty high in the zone. Connor Green found it a little difficult to handle there, and there was a rebound, and Hildreth put it back in. He was in tight on him and might have touched the puck before it actually got to him, but nonetheless, that is a 3-goal advantage here with Hildreth getting that goal.
And not to be overly critical of Connor Green, who has had some real fine stops tonight, but it seems to me he is not quite as squared up, not quite as mobile side to side, post to post, as he was last night. Mind you, a much different opponent too.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He was a little standing up. He wasn't quite in the athletic position that he normally is in.
So the Bears down 3. Here's Horn 1-on-1, 2-on-1 now with Bloom. Centering pass. There's the trail. The shot misses. Rebound loose. They jam at it from the side, and Durante will cover up.
Good pass out in front, a good effort and a good answer by the Bears. It was Ryan Leith who snuck in from the point that had that opportunity out in front, but he was only one of a few, because I think there was 2 or 3 shots that got to Durante, and he was able to make all of those stops.
Face off to Durante's left. The Bears trailing by 3 goals here at 4-1. Midpoint. A little bit beyond here in the second period. Clark center point. Rister toward goal. That hit Horn out in front. And caroms off into the corner. Cortland will clear. Up ahead for Donegan. Pinched off the puck. Gets it back. Hounded by Leaf. Still being hounded by Leaf. Donegan gets it again. Looking for a turnaround shot on goal. Gets it. A stick save for Green. Bears look to respond with Bloom. He'll dump it in here in the long change second period. He'll head off to the bench for a breather. As Cortland coming flying back in again. And finally that man is taken out, is really with a full head of steam there. I think that was Ciori. Meanwhile, the Bears get stopped halfway into the Cortland zone. Play broken up. Donegan cannot clear the backhand. It's a shot from the point. Not a whole lot on it, but a little bit of a rise there at the end. Durante equal to the task.
That was a good play by Corson Green to get that shot not to come to the net. Good offensive opportunity coming down the left-hand side for Cortland, but Corson Green got the stick in the way and the puck and the player went to the side and to the boards.
Face off to Durani's left. Won by the Dragons. And they will finally manage to bring it out to center ice. Burke just takes it and spins it into the zone. Cortland not really much of an east-west team, but they'll come at you straight in your face. Here comes Potsdam and Tom Terranova. Terranova winds, big rebound out front. They cannot get a good second try, the Bears. A nice move by Tom Terranova. Now one in front of the net, it will trickle, and Durante saw that one coming all the way. Does the smart thing and covers up with 7:35 to play in the second.
Well, those rebounds have been there, albeit the shots coming from probably about 45 feet, and the shot coming in. So what ends up happening is that as the play comes in, the players are coming in at full steam. Oftentimes their body is a little bit out of control to slow down and get that rebound, but that was the case there.
Leith from the left point, twice blocked. All the way down into the other end. Rose hustles back down for Potsdam to break up a possible break toward net. And Potsdam will regather. Bears have given up 2 here in the second, including a power play goal to trail 4-1 to Red Dragons. A weak shot off the half wall that'll hop its way into Durante's glove with 7:07 to play, period 2.
Another terrific play by Drew Rose, who continues to impress here. He's just so solid in his defensive plays. He's got good balance on his skates and he's got one of those good hockey IQs. He just seems to understand the play, and that was a terrific play he made right there.
Face off to Durante's left. Face off is won by Cortland. Bears forechecking, can't quite get control of the puck. Dragons with Beaulieu. Short bank off the boards. Space and speed down the left wing side, and losing the puck down in the corner on that fly-in, I think, was Satimo. Now here comes Potsdam, a little draw pass for Horn. Horn backhanded in back of the net, didn't get that one on. And all the way up to center ice, Rose will wait with the puck and dump it in on the offside. Horn checks up and heads right off to the bench. Bears finishing off a change, trailing 4-1 here in the second period.
One of the things you're going to notice here, too, is that the Cortland Red Dragons are sending players out of their zone, which takes the pressure away, moves the defenseman off the blue line there, so they're not afraid to send their players and look for stretch passes.
McDevitt digging after it for Cortland. He goes into the zone, but a Potsdam player on it first out to center ice. But some of the Potsdam passes in and around center ice seem to be lacking a little bit of purpose. And that's enabling Cortland to almost get another turnover there by Ciori.
Well, Cortland has played very sound in the neutral zone. There's not a lot of room in there, and the Bears are very structured in how they move through the neutral zone, and Cortland has been clogging it up.
Dragons crash into the zone. Bears come back out. Here comes an opportunity. Wine, fire, big rebound. Cannot get the weak side putback. Can the Bears? Not quite yet anyway. Back in transition, Cortland. Cross ice for Anderson. Left circle on goal and hops up on Green. He's going to hold on to this one as we get a shove or two right at the whistle.
That was Dallow who came down the right-hand side and took that quick shot. Remember, we talked about him a little bit in the beginning, a little bit of a delay, but he came down and he shot at that time and got the rebound he was looking for. But good defensive play by Cortland didn't allow the Potsdam player to get his stick on that rebound.
So nothing comes of the mini scrum here after Connor Green's latest save. 5:15 to play, period 2. Cortland 4, Potsdam 1. Jack Bloom, the only goal here tonight for Potsdam so far, the only goal for them last night. And their 2-1 loss then to Oswego, who has come back to tie the Cardinals at 2 in Plattsburgh. They are late in period number 2. Suniac standings looking to maybe take a little bit of shape here only after the first weekend. Potsdam looking to break the puck out, but the lead passes. Too hot to handle, way too much on that, intended for Ben Thompson. Now Thompson has to go behind him as he looks into the Cortland defensive zone up ahead for Holmitz. He'll gather it in, distribute right side Knowlton. Cross ice pass, big save by Green. Track that one well. Yeah, I was talking about how Cortland doesn't seem to have an awful lot. There's a big hit. Knowlton was airborne and got shoved backwards before he could land.
He got knocked right on his license plate. I'll tell you that right now. It's,
but Cortland's East-West game does exist.
Yes, it
They
does.
save it for when they're basically below the hash mark. Now here comes Potsdam, a chance at a break on a late change here, but hustling back in is Gatus. Breaks up the play now for Leith. Leith will backhand it down into the corner. As a bunch of players are scrumming for it down there. Toward the left corner, Potsdam still with possession, trailing by 3 goals here. 3.5 minutes to play, centering pass cut off. Out to the left point, down below us, and it's out to center ice. Played cross ice, this will be playable for Clark. Clark will backhand it ahead just into the zone. Are the Bears onside? Apparently so. Thought maybe Tommy Terranova was in a little bit early, but the puck is not able to be found by him, and it's back out to center ice. Cortland now with Big Donegan. Takes a big hit from Josh Baffolchi. And that frees up the puck for Potsdam, coming back the other way around the boards. Ludwig will track it down left corner. 2:45 to play in the second. Bears looking for at least one response here before the second period is up, down by 3. Left point, big crowd. Puck to the left circle, Alfieri to the backhand, turnaround, forehand. Wide of the mark and could not hook up with a teammate in better position. Here's Grant, he'll bank it. Big play toward the side of the net and off the side of the net. Now Krupp has lost his stick. So Potsdam maybe, just maybe, can take advantage here, but a return pass to the point is going to be errant and all the way down ice. That was actually in between center and right point. Nobody was home there. Bears get it back for MacArthur. Garrett coming in. Backhander on goal. Rebound, a short one. Right out in front of Durrani. That's gathered in by his decor. And hustling back with a wrister. A glove stop for Green.
That was a nice brother-to-brother pass. It was Michael who found Garrett coming right around the blue line. Got a nice little touch pass to him, and he cruised in on that right-hand side. Got a nice goal-scoring opportunity, but Durante was there for the stop.
Face-off will be to the right of Connor Green. And through nearly 5 periods here, we're seeing that Connor Green, perhaps his best weapon is his gloves. He is absolutely solid with that. Very quick. Here comes Potsdam. Transitioning down. Nikiforov puts it on goal and a screen. Kick the side for Romano, but not cleared out. Bears send it on goal once again. Terranova left corner. Back for Rose. Keeps it in. One-timer right out in front, and that's it. Romano's stick. Now directed toward net. That'll be cleared off toward the corner. Holmitz will get it. And now we'll track it down. Holmitz with some space. Left side. Puts the shot right on. The save by Green. A minute 5 to go in the second. End-to-end action all night long here in Potsdam. And the advantage to Cortland so far. 2 goals here in the second to open up a 4-1 lead. Final minute of play in period number 2. Here's hold up. Nikiforov gets through. Short side shot. No. Wraparound try. Can't get it to tuck home.
Nice look there. Good effort by, was that Ludwig?
That was Victor Nikiforov.
Nikiforov there. Nice look. Got around the side. Got the goalie moving from side to side. Wasn't able to finish that wraparound.
Bears will play it off a deflection out to center ice. And there goes Dallo again. looking very much like a veteran player, just his first year here at Potsdam.
That was a good stick check here to keep the puck going low in the zone here. 13 seconds to go here as the Bears are going to look for an icing call. That was waved off, playing on.
Just a couple seconds left, 5 seconds to go at the blue line. Screen shot blocked, and there will be no follow-up. And the second period will come to a close. So a more productive second period for Cortland. 2 goals, including a power play marker, and they're up 4-1 after 2.
Well, the power play marker came very quickly, and as I made a comment about 4 minutes after that happened, the Bears were not set up properly in their face-off. The centerman, all he had to do was knock the puck over to the free winger against the boards, and he was successful at doing that. A couple of steps back, or one pass and a one-timer across found Johan, and he was able just to one-time it behind Connor Green. That kind of set the pace up, shook the Bears just a little bit, and they were able to, I thought they were back on their heels for just a little bit, but they were able to come back into it, and I thought play much better in the latter part of that period. The one thing that is evident to me is that Cortland is much better freewheeling. They like a freewheeling kind of game. They seem to have that skill level. They like the stretch passes. They like the cross ice passes. They like that transitional play. The Bears are playing trying to play a much more of a structured game, and right now that's not matching up against Cortland.
Yeah. Especially on the defensive end, in getting caught out of position. Not quite tight enough are the defenders marking up the Cortland forwards, who are certainly flying down the wings for sure. So Cortland 4 and Potsdam 1 after 2 periods of play. In Plattsburgh, Oswego and Plattsburgh still in a 2-2 tie. They have reached the second intermission themselves. Plattsburgh had the 2-0 lead in that game, and obviously they've given up that lead, back on even terms. Our next Potsdam Bears sports broadcast coming up here on Mix 96.1 this coming Tuesday night. We'll get our first look at the Potsdam women's basketball team, as the Lady Bears will be hosting St. Lawrence University Tuesday night, 7 o'clock in the Maxey Gym in the Jerry Welsh Gymnasium here inside Maxey Hall. Looking forward to the start of basketball season as much as I have hockey.
Yeah, I bet you are. That's going to be good. I don't know when the men are going to be starting, but they're a couple weeks behind.
I think the men for home play are about a week behind. I do believe they have a road game also on Tuesday night, sometime this week. I'm pretty sure that's the case.
You know, if we look at what's going to be happening here in the ice facility, the Lady Bears are going to be having an exhibition game, I believe, next Saturday. That's going to be against the new program in the area, and that's Paul Smith. But we're going to check out the men's schedule. The men go on the road and aren't going to be around very much until the latter part of November. So we're going to check these schedules so we can keep people up and informed. So right now we have the statistics from the game, and a quick recap had Cam Knowlton getting a goal at 17-19 of the first period. Jack Bloom would come back and get his second goal of the season to tie that score 20 seconds later. But after that, it's been all Cortland, as at 19:39, that momentum changer, if you will, Cam Knowlton got his second goal of his career and the second goal of the game, with assists coming to Grupp and Holmetz. But then in the second period, it was going to be the 2 goals for the Red Dragons, and as we were talking about before, that's that power play marker at 4:01, where Alex Johan would find the back of the net.
That was 5 seconds in.
5 seconds in on that power play. Michael Shiori would get an assist, as would be Nick Grupp. Then to give that 3-goal lead, it was Jonah Hildreth who would score at 10:27 of the second period. Liam Anderson and Giancarlo Romano would pick up the assist. The Red Dragons would be outshot in the second period, 19-15 by the Bears for a two-period total of 33-27. So after two periods, shots on goal 33-27, that's wide open hockey, and that does not fit into the way the Bears want to play the game as far as I can see. But anyway, again, only one penalty in the game so far, and that was Connor Cruikshank, who went off for tripping. A curious call for me, but nonetheless the only penalty of the game so far, and that resulted in a power play goal for the Cortland Red Dragons.
Looking at Potsdam Bears schedules, you're right, the men are about a week behind in basketball, their basketball season getting started up. The women open at home this coming Tuesday. The Bears men will open on the road Tuesday, November 16th at Skidmore. Their home opener will be against St. Lawrence on Friday the 19th. And as we look at the Potsdam women's hockey schedule, they are in action tomorrow.
They were in action today against Oswego. I don't know how that turned out. We're going to see, maybe.
Well, that is tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were down there today. Nonetheless, it is a Sunday game.
And then you're right, they're off for the better part of the week. Next Saturday is the scrimmage, 3 o'clock here at Maxey against the new Paul Smith's program. And the Potsdam men's hockey team, after tonight, let's see what the Bears have going on as we scroll into the schedule here. Next weekend, they are on the road at Brockport and Geneseo, so doesn't get any easier for games number 3 and 4 on the league season.
Then they continue on the road in Fredonia and Buff State. So their Suniac games are really getting going on the road, and they'll return here in the Thanksgiving holiday tournament at Canton with Hamilton and either Canton or St. Anselm's.
And then their first taste of the Plattsburgh Cardinals will be in Plattsburgh on Friday, December 3rd. So they've got a long road stretch to the Bears.
There's going to be a stretch here before they return home.
They're not home again until Wednesday, December 8th against Morrisville. Wow. Well, I guess road trips are good for bonding, right? That's what they say. If there's any truth to it or not.
Right.
So that's what's coming up for the respective Potsdam programs that we follow all season long here on the SUNY Potsdam Bearcast and on Mix 96.1. We're going to step aside for a short break here. When we come back, we'll get ready for period number 3. The Bears have any more goals in them here tonight? Let's hope so as they trail by 3, headed toward the third. After 40, Cortland 4, Potsdam 1, on the SUNY Potsdam Bearcast live tonight on Mix 96.1. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, Lucas, talk to you in about 4.5 minutes from now. Thanks. Mixer turning off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll billboard, please. Unreal. On 7 shots. We welcome you back, everyone, to the Maxi Arena on the campus of SUNY Potsdam. We are yours truly, Warren Potter, along with the coach, John Horan. John, looking up on the wall of fame, the men's hockey tradition, opposite corner of where we are in the press box. Your picture up there.
Well, we got them all up there. Hector Foisey and Dave McLennan, myself, Ed Cini, Lenny Tamaris, Aaron Saul, and the current coach, Chris Bernard. So that's the coaches of the history of the coaches.
And how many years for you at the helm?
I was the head coach for 10 years, assistant coach for 3. So 13 years on the bench here, and it was my great privilege to work with Coach Dave McLennan as we were just getting going into our varsity seasons. Hector Foisey was there as in the club capacity, and then of course I was just so lucky to have Glenn Tamaris with me on my staff, and of course Glenn went on to great things at Northwood and Clarkson and Elmira, National Coach of the Year a couple of times, and before making a return to Potsdam as the head coach. So it was a great opportunity to have him back with Bear Country.
Well, the current edition of the Bears with some work to do here in period number 3, trailing 4-1. They give up the opening faceoff win to Cortland, who will keep it with Satimo. Splitting defenders with a shot. Jan wraparound try. It goes sailing through the crease and out. A little bit too far for Baffolchi. Cortland will dump it right back in. Quick changes both ways here. Early third period of play. Cortland 4, Potsdam 1. Bernays will hand it back. And again, lead pass is off the mark here for Potsdam. Enabling Cortland to get fully set up following a full change. Or a nearly full change. And Potsdam's time in the Cortland zone doesn't last for very long. Cortland brings it back in, but Grattan will gather it for the Bears. Grattan moves down to right side. Put in back of the net. Cortland will circle and move it right back out of there. On the move, Trevor Veniklas. Now here comes Potsdam with Rob Clare. Rob Clare with assists in both games. On what are so far Potsdam's only 2 goals of the season, 1 each night. Need 3 to tie here in this third period tonight. Our wrist falling to 0-2 in league play to start the year. Cortland out with it, and Burke leads a 2-on-2 return pass to Burke. Connor Green, or make that Corson Green with a nice cut off of his stick. And the puck is up and out of play. That one touched the netting.
Just barely got the netting there as it came down. Corson Green kept good focus on it as the whistle had not blown. It was a delayed call. I don't know if they were sure if it actually touched the screen or not, but nonetheless, it was blown dead for a face-off here to the left of Connor Green.
A face-off that will be won by the Bears. Corson Green eludes the check. Sounded a lot worse than it was. But the Bears can't clear. Knowlton in the corner. Up out at the left point. But the puck is going to be chipped past him by Dallo. Dallo tying up him as they are forced down into the Cortland defensive third. Cross ice pass for Clark. He'll put it toward net. Rister sails high and wide left side. Played out of the corner by Ludwig. He's denied on his approach toward net. Ludwig on it again, a little bit more space this time, goes high toward the left point, dumped in down low. Dallo, backhander out in front, Ludwig can't pull the trigger. Leith will play it off the boards. Leith tries to put out in front, blocked again. Leith just not having any luck in getting a puck through from along the blue line here tonight.
You can see how the Bears are much more comfortable in that structured forecheck, getting the puck below the goal line, forcing Cortland to make the plays and be stationary. You get Cortland going with motion, they're dangerous.
As Ciori flies in on the right wing side, loses the grip on the puck, leaves it behind. It's freed up along the boards toward the corner. Banked a little bit lower there, and should give an opportunity for Potsdam to clear. They do. Skating out is Alfieri. Bears are onside. Alfieri's shot is wide of the mark. Gathered in by MacArthur. That's Garrett. Right side. And the shot toward goal, cut off en route. Now played out of the corner. Alfieri, side of the net, jamming at it. Now he's in back of the net. Looking for a centering pass that does not come. Cleared out center. Bears bank it off of one of the linesmen. But they manage on second effort to get into the Cortland zone and finish up a change. Nearly 4 minutes gone here in period number 3. Here comes Hildreth trying to give it to his man. Bears get away with a tripping call there.
Got away with one there, that's for sure.
Big time. Kept in down low. Crookshank after it here for Potsdam, and the Bears will manage to work the puck out of there. Tommy Terranova up ahead for MacArthur. And the shot just wide. Maybe the keeper getting a piece of that. He'll pounce on the play the bounce back off the backboard.
Yeah, very alertly. The puck came off the backboards, and he was very alert to make sure that play was shut down, recognizing that the success of the Bears had been on the forecheck. Again, this Cortland team likes the motion, and they're going to stretch it out. You can see the wingers flying out of the zone here on any occasion, and so they're going to keep the defensemen off that blue line whenever they can.
There's a nice quick turn toward goal by Horn. Unable to play the weak side rebound are the Bears collectively. 4.5 minutes into the third period, Bears still trailing 4-1. 2 goals in the second, very much the big differential here for Cortland. Led out to center ice. The stretcher for Esposito. But Corson Green keeps it away from him. And played back out to center by Clark, losing an edge, but manages to get the puck out of there anyway. Fed right back in by the Dragons.
The one thing that you notice about Corson Green, he plays a very efficient game.
He really does. As Potsdam driving into the left wing corner, Ludwig knocked off the puck for a moment, hops back out to the left point. Clark out in front, deflected away. Leith will glove it down out at center ice, and the Bears will reset on the offense. Wide of the goal, Thompson gives chase on a long bounce. Out to center, Leith once again. Swings it quickly off to the left for Clark. Eludes a check. Gets the puck in deep. MacArthur, centering pass, no look behind the back. And right there for Cortland is Gatiss. Make that Burke. Burke stopped up at the Potsdam blue line. And the Bears back with it. Here's Leith entering the zone himself. He's going to give chase. As it comes along the right side, the arm is up, the touch is made, and the Bears are going on the man down.
What do we have for a call there? My eyes had left it. Going to be on
like another
tripping call here. That's going to be MacArthur going off on the trip. Now, we get to the positioning here on the face-off. Face-off win.
For the Red Dragons, they're man up again. First time, 5 seconds in, they scored. That was a period ago. This time they'll set it up. Cross ice, left side. Left circle back to Grupp, left point. Looks for a man out at the side of the net. Pass out in front, cut off. Bears get it with Rose. Rose a chance to clear the zone. He will all the way down ice, right on goal.
Good solid play. Bears kind of in a conservative box there. When the control is clean with the Cortland Red Dragons, I believe you'll see the Bears pressure loose pucks.
Back out to center ice, it comes Grupp. Retreating for a moment for Stoyahan, who shoves it right side. It's banked off the backboards toward the side of the net. The defense hustling back there. But the defense cannot clear. Cortland setting up once again. Center point shaded left is Grupp. To the left circle, Ciori. Tries to hook up with Donegan out in front. Had his stick tied up. Sent toward goal again. Kick saved by Green. Right circle. Shoved toward net, but in back it goes. Out in front, the Bears with a chance to pick it off. They do. And Alfieri will skate it out and dump it down ice. 40 seconds to go in the man up.
Solid penalty kill so far for the Bears. Able to gather the loose pucks, fight for them, and keep the Cortland Red Dragons on the exterior part of that box.
Clear down ice again, and just wide of the net, it will go. And the netminder Durante takes a little bit of a bump as he was caught out of position. Bears dump it right back in. A very efficient penalty kill this time around for Potsdam.
Stretch pass not connecting there. Got right on the stick of Drew Rose, who was able to put it right back down the ice.
And in comes Cortland on the offside. Rose proving himself already here in the opening weekend of being one of the players with very good vision.
Yeah, he's just got a good hockey IQ. Plays it very well. Of course, coached by Mickey Locke back at St. Lawrence Central. He learned that by Coach Mickey.
He's just out in Larryland earlier this afternoon for a soccer game, a state playoff soccer game. Cross ice, shot right on. That was a nice move toward goal, but Durante was tracking it, and he made his move across the crease from left side to right. Quickly back in come the Red Dragon. Teams back to 5-on-5 skating. Here's Ludwig with the Bears still down by 3 goals. Terranova right up the middle, shot right on. It rises up on Durante. He holds on about chest high.
That could have been the save of the game for them, as it would have really got the momentum going. Boy, the Bears, it was a terrific pass by Tommy Terranova to find, I think it might have been Ludwig over on that wing, I'm not sure, but it was directly on his stick, and the one-timer was snuffed out by Durante.
Off the face-off right on goal. Glove save this time for Durante. 11:21 to play period 3. And the score holds at Cortland 4 and Potsdam 1. Horn looking for a face-off win, but it's going to be the Red Dragons instead. Around the boards and out. Cruikshank first on it here for Potsdam as he circles in his own end. Pokes it out to center ice, brought right back in, but on the offside. Unable to clear in time with Stoyahan.
Turn that puck over, and Cortland Red Dragons are going to come right back at you. They turned it over quick, but a little too anxious was Donegan as he went in on the offside call.
11:08 to play here in the third. Another face-off win for Cortland. Another part of their game that has been stepped up here as the game has progressed. Forcing the Bears to spend more time in their own end than they really want to be doing. Puck out of play here at the Potsdam bench. Backup netminder Nico Gamara with the glove takeaway there as it came to the bench.
Bears going to have the face-off. It's going to be off to the right of Connor Green here. We're going to get a look at a couple of the young players. Avkonoff is out there. There's Corson Green with the puck now.
As the Bears will lead it ahead for Alfieri. He's got some pretty good speed too. Stays onside. Drops it off in the corner. Nice little turn back move right here now for Potsdam. And Victor Nikiforov to the right corner. Played softly out of there by the Dragons defense, Johnny Ficini. Puck tied up left corner now. Ficini comes away with it. He'll bank it softly and back of his own goal off toward the corner and flies down the ice, floating down there. And that's going to go as an icing against Cortland. with some late hitting going on as the whistle had sounded.
That was a body contact on that very close icing call there. No harm, no foul. Little exception taken by Corson Green, but that was McDevitt who had the body contact. Coach Bernard wanted a call there, not going to get it. So it's the icing call, comes down the ice. It's going to be to the right of Durante here with Horn on the faceoff. That's a faceoff win for the Bears.
As Rose fires it wide on a one-timer. A little bit off balance. He was back on his heels there. Still put quite a bit on that. As Cortland will dump it in and finish off a full change. See how the Bears can do on the breakout. From right to left, here's Rose. Drives it in. Bears head down the right wing, looking to gather in the puck. Down low for Dallo. Dallo tying up his man. The puck at their feet. Still tied up. And finally the whistle will sound for a face-off in the Potsdam offensive zone. 9:31 to play.
Yeah, certainly the clock is not in the favor of the Bears. We'd like to be able to maybe fall back a couple of minutes and pick up a couple extra minutes in this game. Reminder to everybody, don't forget to do your clocks here tonight, as we'll get an extra hour's sleep.
Terranova out of the left corner. Puck is loose for Sturgeon. He'll tip it ahead, but Bears will win it back. Terranova, one-timer, left corner, left circle, right on goal. And another fine stop for Mr. Durante.
Nice pass. I think it was Ludwig who made that pass over to Tommy Terranova. He caught him over there, but puck moving kind of slow. Terranova winding up, gave Durante a good time to measure and stand up straight on that one.
Off the face-off, a shot high and wide, all the way out to center ice clear. Will pull it in. Satimo knocks down the cross ice pass, and a scrum along the boards into the Potsdam zone it comes. Satimo trying to open up for a shot, but he's checked off the puck and hauls down his man.
They got him.
And finally comes the whistle.
Well, it's interestingly enough, it's the back man that got him. The referee who was right in front of him did not make that call. Of course, you never know where their eyes are, where it's on the puck off to the side, but nonetheless, Bears are going to have an advantage here with 8:48 to go. They need a goal desperately. That's number 27 going off for the Red Dragons. That's Dominic Satimo.
So Potsdam with its first power play opportunity of the night, coming here past the midpoint of the third period. Jam tore net off the faceoff, loose in the slot, and corralled by the defense. And it's going to be a carry out here for a Holmitz. He's just going to play it back to his D, and then they'll dump it down ice right on goal. Smart move right there to kill off a few precious seconds here. Here comes MacArthur. MacArthur up the middle. Drops it left corner. Played off the bank and behind. Up to the top of the left circle and out for Holmitz. Holmitz comes one-on-one. Holmitz trying to sneak by, does not do so. Puck taken back by Leith. The Leith's cross-ice pass not on the mark. And Cortland will turn it right back in. And there's a blown stick.
Well, Leith lost his stick in the elbow of the Cortland player, and then the Cortland player comes in and breaks his stick. We'll see that very often.
Knowlton turns the puck right back into the Potsdam zone, halfway through the Potsdam power play. Haven't had much going on it yet. And Green hauled down by Knowlton. Play goes on. Back out to center ice. Alfieri will try things now. Back to the defensive pairing. See if the Bears can get a clean breakout here with 35 seconds to go in their first power play of the night. Rifled around the boards and back of the Cortland net. Half a minute to go in the Potsdam man advantage, needing a goal desperately. Not going to get one right there as Cortland picks it up in front of their own net. Nobody else home, and down the ice it goes. Potsdam with time for one more good rush here on the man up. as Jack Bloom will send it in back to the net and clear it right back to center ice. That dump and chase down the left wing just not working for the Bears in most instances, and now it's given up by Terranova. Thankfully, Rose comes onto the ice here off a change and at least slows down the play, enabling Green to get in position to make a stop on a shot from about 10 feet out.
That was another trip that wasn't called there.
It sure seemed that way. As Cortland playing keep away right now. Cross ice to Knowlton. Rose will take it away from him with 6:15 to play. Cortland broke a 1-1 tie with the goal 21 seconds to play in the first. Put up 2 more goals in the second, including a power play goal of their own. They lead at 4-1. Here's Green, a rising shot on goal. Durante takes some contact here as he was making that stop, and now the fists are coming up and the six are coming up, and we're going to get some penalties out of this.
Well, the initial call should be against the Bears here, as it was Ben Thompson who just took the legs out from the goaltender Durante. That was a frustration move. That really, you wouldn't expect that to happen, and that should be a penalty every day. But I'm not sure who's going to get the call here. But Cortland did come in and take exception to it, as you would expect.
Yeah. Well, Thompson knows he's going in the box. He's weighing down below us at the gate. Let's see if anybody else is going to be joining him. As all this comes with 5:55 to go, period 3. Still 4-1 Cortland. Yeah, let's sort it out here, boys. There's 4 of you down there. Shouldn't take too long to figure it out. As pieces of hockey stick are being flung around too. Well, gives us a moment to update you on the score over in Plattsburgh, where Oswego and Plattsburgh are still tied at 2. Their latter stages of period number 3. Hasn't been any further scoring since Oswego came back to tie it at 2 after being down 2-0.
Yep.
Right now, Matching Miners up on the board.
Well, Thompson's going off for sure. Well, let me look here to make absolutely sure of that. Yes, that's Ben Thompson who's going off on the initial call, and then they're going to take probably the Cortland player on the retaliation. That would be my guess. But
and honestly, could have been more.
Yeah, I mean, there was some. They had a good dance going over there in the corner, and the referees, I think, probably got it right here, unless you would figure that their Potsdam would get an extra penalty in there because they were the initiator of the disturbance, if you will.
Face-off will be to the right of Durante. Teams will be skating 4-on-4. At least that's what we're being led to believe right now.
Going to bring the face-off outside, and again, I think that's the right move as well. But we'll see what happens here. Tempers are flaring just a little bit here, so I got a sneaky suspicion this isn't over.
And it's only weekend 1. Welcome to the SUNYAC. Glad to have it back, that's for sure.
Yep.
And the Bears are going to have some things to work on between now and next weekend when they head on the road for an extended road tour of Central and Western New York. Here comes CREN, cross-ice pass, mid-slot, that's swept out of there. With a minute and a half to go in 4-on-4 action, 5:15 to play in the third period. Anderson enters the zone with Hildreth, steered toward net, stick aside by Green. Bears with some pretty good skaters out there, including Terranova and Bloom, but it's Satimo getting the shot and playing his own rebound. Back down into the corner, in behind the Potsdam goal. Bears seem to have been sapped of a lot of their offensive energy here in this third period. As Horn joins the rush. Back it comes to the point, played down low by Clark. Called for by Cruikshank. He'll send it well wide off the mark. Clark will play it in behind the goal. Dragons on it now. Half a minute to play in 4-on-4. And just under 4.5 minutes to go in the game.
Time is on their side. They can afford to be patient, just control the puck, get it deep, make the Bears try to go the full 200 feet, or 197 here in Maxey Hall.
Exactly what Veniclaus does as he kills off some more time, knocking the puck in down low, tying it up a little bit behind the net, still down there, takes a hit from behind, and that's going to draw a penalty for sure. You can't do that.
Yo, Bears losing a little bit of their composure here, as that's going to be going off for the Bears. That's Connor Cruikshank. We have another piece of equipment that's left the left the boards here. Some of the red trim has fallen off. I'm not sure that's essential to complete this game, so they'll likely probably just take that off and take it with them.
A piece of the bumper.
Piece of the bumper has come off here.
Bring out the Gorilla Tape.
You know.
You're there. Let's just call it a game.
Not
3:58 to
sure.
go. It's going to be a 4-second 4-on-3 power play here for Cortland.
Yep.
And then they'll switch off to 5-on-4. Face-off win for the Bears defensively, and they will clear the zone. Pass to Timo down ice. So now 5-on-4 power play for Cortland. They're third of the night overall, I think.
Yep.
As Ciori will enter the Potsdam zone. Cortland has put itself in good position here to ride this one out and end up splitting the road weekend in northern New York. Falling in overtime at Plattsburgh last night, they did 6-5 after blowing a pair of 2-goal leads. But they're up by 3 here, and chance for more with 1:20 to go in their latest power play. Grupp, left point, slides it to the left circle toward goal Ciori. That's stick aside. Off the right boards, 4 high now. Grupp slides it. Ciori steps in to one and puts it right on goal. A wrister. Stopped pretty easily there by Connor Green with 2:57 to play in the period. Halfway through the power play.
Yeah, nice positioning there. You know, the Cortland Red Dragons have 2 defensemen on the blue line, and then 3 across the goal line. That'll move up and down. That guy in front of the net will come up high depending on the placement of the puck. Right there, he was low, and the shot came, but Connor Green was right in a nice position to make the save.
Big one-timer from the right side. That was well off the mark. 45 to go in the Cortland power play. Burke for Ficini, center point. Thought about a shot, thought against it. Over to Holmans, back to Burke. There's Ficini rather. Ficini sends it down wide, intentionally left of the goal. Gets it back, center point, one-timer, right circle. Nice stick save that time by Connor Green. And the Bears will finally get a hold of it. Drew Rose's clearing attempt is right on the stick. Another blast from Ficini, center point. That is the save. He gets it back toward the top of the right circle. Back for Ficini. Ficini, short slide off to the right. Now the left circle, Holmans. Ficini, center point. Holmans, left circle. 7 seconds to go in the man advantage. And it looks like the Bears are about ready to kill this one off. I had to hold that thought because there was one more one-timer coming.
Yep. And just under 2 minutes left to go in what I feel confident in saying in this contest here tonight.
As Potsdam just has not shown enough in their offensive execution to come back in this one. And barring barring a goal or two in the last minute and a half of this game, the Bears are going to be held to one Jack Bloom tally in each of their first 2 home games.
Yeah, and they've had some opportunities at times in the game that could have had a change in the outcome, obviously, and certainly with an impact on the momentum of the game. But as we talked about, when you get a goal less than a minute to go in a period, that really changes the momentum, and that's exactly what happened with Cortland as they got a goal with just a few seconds to go, about 10 seconds to go in that first period. And, that's just, that set them off and running for 2 goals to follow in the third period. The second period, that is.
A minute and 22 to go here in Potsdam. No scoring here in the third. Score at 4-1 Cortland. Ciori back to Potsdam goal. Alfieri there with him for Potsdam. Ciori comes out of a small pack of players with the puck, and now Alfieri gets it. Alfieri, nice little backhand up to a teammate for a shot on goal. That was Dallo. Dallo, good anticipation. Another shot on goal. Durrani will stop that one as well. And the Red Dragons, as we are into the final minute of play, will just dump it into the Potsdam zone and bring out their final shift of the game, we suspect, en route to splitting the road weekend here in Northern New York to improve to 1-1 in conference play. And back of the net, we have a whistle, we have a penalty. It's going to be a holding call.
Holding call on Cortland. Number 13 going off for Cortland on that holding call. That's going to be Andrew Clouden.
Yeah, let's see if the Bears can maybe at least get one back and have something better to feel good about coming out of this game.
Yeah, something to build on. As it turns out here, the Bears have certainly dug themselves a hole in the start of the Sunyak, and it's been a most unfortunate start to the season, and some of the things have really come out to be a problem for the Bears, and some of them is just really kind of the way the season was delayed and getting started for them, and they're really showing it here tonight.
Final 15 seconds of this one. Bears are on the power play, but unable to generate anything as Cortland will clear the zone all the way down the ice, and that is pretty much going to do it right there. The Bears, despite another solid start here tonight, trailing 2-1 after one period of play, cannot find the back of the net again beyond that, and they fall to the Cortland Red Dragons by the final score of 4-1. Bears now at 0-2 to start the season, 0-2 overall, 0-2 in conference, and the Cortland Red Dragons wind up with some important points here tonight in Potsdam in splitting their opening road weekend.
Yeah, and again, Cortland ends up with a split on the weekend. They very easily could have come away with more points than that, giving up 2 goal leads in Plattsburgh twice last night and eventually falling in overtime. This is a solid team. They're skillful. They have good speed. They play an aggressive style of game, a run-and-gun style. That didn't match up very well against the Bears here tonight. And the Bears have got to really try to figure out and get an identity for themselves. They were much more comfortable in the game last night. I thought they matched up better against Oswego, but they just couldn't find a way to crack through with any meaningful way. And before we get into the statistics, and we'll talk about it just a little bit, is that just as saves are important in terms of times, it's the ability to score a goal and change the momentum. The Bears just couldn't finish at a time where they could shift the momentum in their advantage. And so consequently, I always felt tonight that Cortland was always on the attack, and the Bears were always back on their heels. That's just the way I felt about the game here tonight.
Not that the Bears were without their scoring chances. We think of a few times, especially over the second half of the game, where Potsdam would come in, they put a shot on goal, big weak side rebound given up, and just nobody quite in the right position to tap it home for what would be a timely goal, of course.
Exactly, and some of these nice opportunities, a pass coming across the slot by Tommy Terranova on the stick, not finishing. It's just those things. Not only do you not put the points on the board, you don't get the momentum, and you're not feeling good about yourselves, and then you start squeezing the stick a little bit and fighting it off. And so there's, again, we talked about a little bit of the rust on the hinges. The Bears off to a kind of a complicated start, not being able to practice very much. It really showed here at times over the course of the weekend, and so they've got to get back on their game and be purposeful in practice, because they got a very difficult road ahead of them.
That they do. Let's take a look at the third period and total game numbers.
Yeah, this again the whole game got going here with the Dragons getting on the board at 17-19 of the first period. Cameron Knowlton from Ficini, and that would give the Red Dragons their first goal, and then it would be Jack Bloom who would score his second goal, the Bears' second goal, the only two goals scored on the weekend to tie the game. Claire and Horn picking up the assist. Cam Knowlton would end up getting an even strength goal that would put the Red Dragons up by one. Grupp and Homitz picking up the assist. That was all in the first period. And again, you're looking at having only 21 seconds to go in the first period when that goal was scored. And then at 4:04 of the first period, it was a power play marker by Strajoyan, and that again, face-off confusion, I thought, in terms of the Bears. They weren't in the proper position. One quick pass, I think it was 4 seconds into the man advantage, and Strajoyan would get that goal to give them a 2-goal lead. Shiori would pick up an assist. Grupp would get his 4th assist of the season. Then Jonah Hildreth would pick up a rebound in front to put them up 4-1, and that's the way it would end in the game. Anderson and Romano would pick up the assist. Shots on goal in the game had the Bears outshooting Cortland 43-35. The Bears would outshoot them in every period. In the first period, they outshot them 14-12, 19-15, and then 10-8 in the third period. Again, 43-35. Penalties in the game. Connor Cruikshank would take a penalty in the second period. Michael MacArthur would take a penalty in the third period. Semedio would take a penalty, and Ben Thompson would go off as well. Cameron Knowlton, Cruikshank, and Clouden would all pick up penalties. In the majority of the penalties coming in the third period with six penalties, and only one in up until that point. That came in the second period. So you're going to have Durante, who would have 42 saves on the night, and Connor Green would end up with 31 saves.
All right, so that puts a wrap on tonight's game as the Bears slip to 0-2 on opening weekend, being outscored to the tune of 6-2 overall, including 4-1 here tonight. Our next Potsdam Bears broadcast coming up this coming Tuesday night. It'll be a 7 o'clock home and season opener for the Potsdam women's basketball team against St. Lawrence University, and then we are off here on Mix 96.1 until Friday and Saturday, or actually Friday and Sunday, the 19th and 21st, for a pair of men's basketball games, as we'll see the Bears men's basketball team get into action. Our next hockey broadcast is going to be not until the day after Thanksgiving, correct?
Yes.
Friday the 26th, women's hockey against St. Michael's, a Friday 5 o'clock start. So on Black Friday, you can get your shopping done earlier in the day and get here in time for a 5 o'clock start. Right?
And then we don't see the men's team, as you mentioned before, until December 8th. My goodness. Against
Morrisville. So we wish them well, and we know Coach Bernard is going to address the issues that were most glaring here, that were exposed this opening weekend. Again, not to make excuses, but were certainly some extraneous circumstances coming into play, not the least of which was the COVID impact on this team, in keeping players out of the lineup. Enough players out a week ago to where they could not play their games against St. Michael's, and even keeping some players as healthy scratches this weekend as well. Certainly some injury and otherwise health-related impacts.
Well, the reality of it in analysis is that not only there were a number of players that were directly affected by testing positive, but because they had been in contact, the team wasn't allowed to practice. So they had to all get tested and get cleared. So it wasn't until early in the week that there was even allowed to skate. And then some of those players came back incrementally, and I don't think they had a full team practice until Thursday. So again, it could be a reason. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact. And you're not going to come into this league and put your skates on without some preparation and being able to come in and play a competitive game. You're just going to have too many mistakes that can happen because you're just rusty and you haven't gotten into your system play yet. So
there were certainly plenty of times when we did see the Bears performing well together, and I'm sure those were times that were recognized by the coaching staff as well, and a lot of things to build on going forward. So we wish them well on their extended road trip and look forward to seeing you back here, Coach. When's the next time we get together again? It's going to be a while. It's going to be
the 26th of...
day after Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to you in advance.
That's right, you and yours. So, I'll have my turkey sandwich before I get here. So
fair enough. Don't eat too much turkey; it'll put you to sleep. All right, so 4-1 your final tonight as Cortland gets the win here at Potsdam. They split on the weekend up here, and the Bears slip in the early going to 0-2 overall and in conference play. Thanks to Dan Bronson and the entire crew here at SUNY Potsdam, to Lucas back at Mission Control at the Mix 96.1 studios in Messina. For the coach, John Horn, I'm Warren Potter. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Potsdam Bears Winter Sports here on Mix 96.1.